I don't discourage anyone, but I think that everyone should go into it knowing what they're getting themselves into, because
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I think the perception is that it's easy money. And
mhm,
let me tell you, it is not easy money.
right.
Um, and it can be a 24/7 job. I mean, I get texts and emails from people at midnight
Yes.
or at 6:30 in the morning.
Right.
Um, you need to structure some
Office
structure for
hours,
yourself
yeah.
and put some limitations because it's easy to burn out.
Right. So what is a typical day in the life of a successful realtor? Like what do you guys do, during a typical day? Because I think people don't realize that there's marketing involved, there's, all these steps. So tell me, what would be a typical day like?
Well, I think one thing that I think is really important is not only having a mentor, but I actually have paid an outside business coach, real estate business coach, and I've done that for many years. I've spent a lot of money on real estate coaching, and that has given me some direction, some focus, and some format for a schedule. So, for example, this morning I got up early. I sat down and I wrote some affirmations. I had a phone call with an agent in Dallas, Texas, where we did role play. We practiced scripts so that we're more conversant with what we want to say
Mhm.
to our clients. She has some listing appointments coming up, and it was a good refresher for both of us. Um, and then I know that to be successful, I need to stick to a schedule, which is not
Not
really an easy
easy.
thing to do.
Right.
And I need to make a certain amount of phone calls every day, or appointments with clients, or getting out there, knocking on doors, introducing myself, uh, letting the whole world know I'm a realtor. And by the way, if anyone is listening to this and needs to buy or sell something, they can contact me.
That's right. And we're going to have your contact information on our website, and we'll have you announce it at the end of this broadcast so that people can come to you. I recommend you highly. You're the best realtor I know in
Well,
Los
thank
Angeles
you. Thank you.
County. And we're going to talk a little bit about referrals and all that too, because that's the intricate part of being a realtor. So, your typical day, you get up early, you work with people all over the country, and do you have to go into the office every day, or how does that work?
Well, because my office for about 6 years has been across town, a 30-minute drive, I typically only went there maybe twice a week. I would go for an office meeting, I would go for a class, um, and maybe do a little bit of work while I was there. Um, the really wonderful thing that I'm thrilled about is that my company has opened a new office that's 10 minutes from my house. So I do go there on a
Yes.
regular basis and work there. So that's fabulous. I'm very excited about that. Um, I want to just step backwards a little bit
Okay.
because um, I have, as I said, I've been doing this a long time. I have a lot of past clients who have become realtors.
Okay.
I think they look at what I do and think, well, this must be really easy. And actually, right now, I have a past client who's taking classes to get a license and asked me if I had watched a certain TV show, one of the
Right.
million
One of
dollar
the
agent
million dollar
shows or
agent
something.
shows.
And, I said to her, no, I don't watch that show. um, but what I would recommend to you is to seek out good mentors that are in the real world.
Yes.
I recommended she go to the website for a particular real estate coach, and that website has a lot of free information. And I said, you're going to learn so much more there than you are watching that TV show,
Right.
um, where they make it really look easy, and it's really often staged.
Right. And that's the challenge I have with those shows, is because you cannot do a real estate transaction in 30 minutes to an hour. The back
No, I think not.
steps, and I don't care how much editing they do, you just can't do it, and the backdrop, and that's why I wanted you to come on today, was to talk about that, because you have to, as a realtor, there's marketing involved and door knocking and sending out mailers and taking classes and
Calling people and meeting
calling
people and
people.
talking to people. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And so, and to get that listing, you have to be sharp because there are maybe 10 other realtors trying to get that same listing.
Exactly.
And so you have to be, sharp and on your, put your best foot forward because there's a lot of competition. There's
Yeah,
not
that's
just
very
one
true.
realtor. You're not the only realtor who's going to knock on that door and that person say, I want to list my house.
Yeah, and
So,
because I've been doing this so long, I would say the bulk of my business is really the highest percentage is repeat and referral business.
so how do
Repeat
you
clients.
get to the point where you have repeat and referral business? Because, okay, so I go out, I take the classes you told me to take. I understand it's going to take me 6 months to a year to actually get into that office and sit at that desk. And so when I get in that office and sit at that desk, now what do I do? Because when I pick up the phone, who am I calling? When
Well,
I
first of all,
market,
while
where
you're
am I marketing to?
while you're preparing, while you're taking those classes, you start letting everybody know that's what you're going to do. You
Okay.
start working your contacts. You start working your database. You get involved in organizations, get involved in your community, get involved in your church, get involved in whatever organization you choose to, and meet people and let them know what you're doing. And once you get your license and you start, do a good job. Be ethical, be honest, be a stand up person. And you and I just had this conversation yesterday.
Yes.
If you say you're going to do something, do it.
Yes.
I'm a big proponent of commitment and responsibility. If you say you're going to do something, then you sure better do it.
Right.
And that's hopefully that's how I've gotten clients. I've gotten clients who've written me really glowing reviews on Zillow and on Realtor.com, and I'm very grateful for that. But it doesn't matter the price point with my client.
Right.
They all get
The
the
same.
best service I
best
can
service.
possibly deliver.
Right. And I want to speak to that a moment, which is one of the reasons I asked you to come on to talk about this. It's because I see your work ethic, working with you as, your loan officer. I get an opportunity to see your work ethic. And you're right, the price point doesn't matter with you. You don't treat someone who's selling a home that may not be as expensive as someone who's selling a very expensive home because we've run the gamut. I've sat with you at homes that were, considered, very low end as far as price points concerned. And I've sat with you in homes that are very high end that cost over $1 million. And you treat your clients the same. You give them the same amount of energy. You give them the same great advice. You do their open houses with the same level of energy, And so when you go into this and you become a realtor, you're absolutely right because that $200,000 home that you might sell,
Where's that one?
nowhere in LA, or that $400,000 home in LA that you might sell might be the same person that you'll meet on another transaction who's selling a $2.5 million house or buying a $2.5 million house. And they remember how well you treated them, and that becomes a referral business to you. I've been so many places with you, and you know someone everywhere we go. And you've either sold them their house or sold them their house. Either you sold their house to someone else for them, or you sold the house to them that they live in, and it's all over the city. So referrals are a big deal in this industry. So yeah, I wanted to make that a huge point, and I'm glad you expressed what you said. Like, you have to be the person that you say you are. You have to follow up. You have to treat everyone with integrity and do what you say you're going to do. Customer service is everything in the real estate business.
Yeah, totally. And even though I've been doing this quite a while, and I'm not really, really young, I try my best to keep updated on new developments and taking classes as a part of that. I was on a phone call yesterday with an expert in Snapchat.
I know, we talked about that yesterday.
Snapchat and
Right.
Instagram and using cutting edge tools to help my clients.
Yeah.
So that's my goal. The other thing I think that people really need to realize is that there's a feasible amount of income to be made in real estate. You can There really is actually no cap on it. You can make tons of money. And maybe I could have made a choice to go work a more expensive neighborhood, because I certainly know people who started out as new agents long after I did, and they chose to work this high-end area and just went after it. And now they're selling those high-end homes. Maybe I should have done that if money was the primary determining factor for me. But I have this passion for historic properties. I love people, and it's all about helping them achieve their goals, either selling their house and moving on with their lives, or buying a house that's going to work for them. I'm dealing right now with a client we have a very, very active market in Los Angeles now, and we have very little inventory.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody that wants to sell a house, send them my way. But this poor couple has lost out on 4 houses and a condo because there have been multiple offers and they've been overbid.
Right.
So it's a hot market, but you need to be out there working for your clients. And my opinion is that it's better to be full-time. You need to be focused. You need to work. It's effort-based, like anything in life.
Yes.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Right. It's not a get-rich-quick
No.
scheme.
Trust me,
It's not going to happen
it
overnight.
ain't easy.
Yes.